Okay, so let's have a look at what we do, what it generated, the code review, and then of course I start with the top layer and go down, just like the plan was made, because I want to start with things least um, least dependent. When I actually analyze the code for the first time and I want to know what's happening, I wouldn't do this way. I would start with actually top, like main test, and go down the path to understand an overall picture. But here I'm very precise. I'm doing the code review of generated features, right? So let me keep this. An idea is like this. Again, I divide my code review items really into different categories. Is it like the severity? How important is that? So, since we are in Olama service, having those models here is okay. It's not ideal, but it's fine, right? I can keep it. They are related to this single file anyway. I mean, we could be discussing if Olama service should be here. It's not a good destination, but fine for now. All right, so we have the Olama service, good, generate endpoint. This method I don't like for many reasons, because Olama service is supposed to be generic, but what I'm doing, I couple it with my domain model. This is bad. This is pretty severe actually. So what I would like to do is to provide generics in that situation. All right, it's a good start. We're gonna get to this. Then we have the prompt. For now, it's coupled inside, but yeah, I don't want to play with the prompts. That's gonna come a bit later. And by the way, if I already use those new lines, I can just go like this. Actually, technically speaking, I would extract that into different files straight away. By the way, you might be wondering why I'm not vibe coding all the way through when I do the code review. And the reason is it depends. Either way will work, but I find out that if I need to, so again, it comes down to how descriptive the task can you give and how big is it, right? So with the big tasks, you need to give big descriptions. This is why you have all this planning mode. But with the tiny task, what I do here, I'm gonna have like tons of small tasks. Um, Sometimes explaining it is as fast as actually making the change myself. I could be leaving comments and then say do all of them at the same time, but very often it has this ripple effect that when I change something, something else breaks and so on. So especially for this case, when it's super tiny and there is no like a major refactor going on, when the model has to think more thoroughly about the problem, it's more like string matching and patching things here and there. I find out that doing this by hand is better, and then tell the model to load the latest version so they can be up to date. I want to show you both techniques. All right, so we have the full prompt. For now, it's okay. Then we have the request, the model. You see, us providing the model name, probably not ideal. I want to have a control over that, and I don't want the user to even know there is some model running behind. But this is more like semantic. So how to say it? There is like a code review error, and there is like the design error. So this is a design error, right? So I want to keep the design errors later because this is part of my public API, and I don't want to be doing this at this stage. This comes in the next stage. All right, so when I'm inside the function, I can say it has Olama generate response. You see, it's because here we expect the string, which is sort of a mistake. We should expect a JSON, and this is quite a bigger task, and I would have to look how it's actually done as well. So you see, after those very tiny cosmetic changes, it came out that I have quite a bigger task. So we have also some design decisions here. So main problem right now here is that my Olama post method, the generate endpoint, it's not returning JSON. And I really want to keep the structured output here. So what I can do is, there are many ways to do it, but one is I can select this part. So first of all, I did some changes. So I can say in ask mode, so it doesn't try to fall back to what it was before. I say I made tiny changes to this file. Please read it. Oops, I love those emojis. All right, so it will read it. And now I want to form my sort of an overview here. So one way is I'm gonna go to the agent mode. Here I don't want to plan because it's gonna be pretty descriptive. So I want to say currently, sorry, typos. All right, so you probably read the prompt. The idea is pretty straightforward, I believe. And I told him to not forget about this T here, because since we're gonna be asking Olama to straight up return a JSON, then many things can go away. For example, this part can go away. You see, this is how it actually works under the hood. I mean, under the hood, API will strip those JSON tags, right? Those JSON blocks, markdown blocks, and then do all the parsing for you, and then maybe even can do some validation. But all in all, this is the very old way of doing this. It's outdated because the structured output is pretty much supported these days. There is a one thing though, the Olama service, the Olama API is using tools in order to parse JSON. I can clearly tell that because if I see the template, the chat template model for Olama does not support tools, then it throws an error. So we might see an error, but then we can choose the right model for this. All right, so let's have a look at here. You see, I'm not confident with format JSON Olama returns valid JSON in the response field, parse it direct. You see, I think it's already a JSON, but let's have a look. If it's, oh no, sorry, of course it's not a JSON. It's, I mean, it's response. We will see. No, anyway. All right. So with that being said, I want to make sure it works. So it doesn't matter what I send. I just have to send it to the right model. So format JSON, that's correct. And the response is a string. I still have to parse it. Okay, that's fine. But at least it returns only the JSON. Yeah, so far so good. It seems pretty fine. Now, let's have a look. Yes, it's using the T. That's good. Normally here, after successful, there is this idea of like commit immediately after passing. I don't quite use it because it's small projects, and I mean I'm fine with it. I mean sometimes I go by without commenting because the cursor has very nice reverse functionality there. But just for you to know, it's a proper way of doing this. All right. So another missing part is the generate filters. It's not really true. It's generate. And now you might be asking why I didn't use the model for this because I don't want to burn the tokens. Because, I mean, let's be honest, the ID is already built, so it will go to all the places that invokes this and change it. So why to do it? And then we have the prompt and the model name. That's pretty fun. I don't like to provide the default. Before I said I don't want to have a model name here, but that's actually not true because now when you look at the generate function, it's pretty straightforward because it's pretty much this endpoint and it expects model name. I could skip it just like I do the JSON here and temperature options. I could also put that as a parameter, and I find it pretty useful to do it, even though I already have the default options here. So let's go ahead and do it. And then it will use this option parameter. The model I want to play on the client side, so that's pretty straightforward. Okay, now let's have a look who invokes that method because it annoys me that I have to. So I have the generate model name. I just want to hard code it for now. I say code gamma 7b, and now it will tell me. I think I already called, yeah, so it supports. Nice. They have updated the chat template because it was not working before. All right, that's it. And now, since you see the model name is not here, I can just remove it. Removing things is easy. So I can just remove it just like I did explain you before, that it's such a small thing that you don't need to tell the model about all those details. All right. Cool. Now let's have a look. Let's say I say something. Yoga only. Sorry. It did call with proper. Sure, I get the yoga only. Awesome. So the last part is to review the UI. I sort of don't like that it's here. I would prefer it to be on the left. But you know what? Let's get to the meat of it. The clear filter. Interesting. So let's go to the prompting because that's the most important fact. For now, I will, you can easily imagine that it can be vibe coded, right? I mean, just give it a couple of prompts to move it to the left, create some layouts and so on. For now, it's okay. I mean, let's get to this part, which is the most important.